meeting is a regular meeting being held March 23rd, 2026. We'll have the roll call. Rosalind Emerson.
Present.
Misty Ayers.
Present.
Billy Johnson.
Present.
Lynette Outland.
Present.
Verlaine Terry here. Sharon Tomlinson.
Present.
Deborah Trotter.
Present.
Great. We have a quorum of 7 members present. Please stand and join me in a pledge of allegiance and a pledge to the Texas flag, and also a moment of silence if you so appropriate. Okay, thank you. Ms. Strickland, are there any public comments?
Public comments at board meetings are limited to items on the posted agenda. To address the board, individuals must sign up before the meeting starts and indicate the agenda item they wish to speak on, as outlined in Policy BED Local. Comments are restricted to 3 minutes per meeting. There are no comments, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is recognitions. Mr. Bates, do we have any recognitions?
Yes, Madam President. I would like to turn it over to Mrs. Tynette Gwynn for all introductions and recognitions tonight.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Terry, other Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Bates. I'm pleased to announce our recognitions of the month for March for Marlin ISD. And first, we will have our Long Star Governance Student of the Month. This month's award goes to a student from Marlin High School. Marshawn Woodson has been selected as the Student of the Month for his consistent positive behavior, strong work ethic, and commitment to continuous growth. He approaches his learning with focus and determination, making steady incremental improvements across all subjects, with notable progress in math, English, and especially social studies. Right now, we'd like to acknowledge Marshawn Woodson. Marshawn is here. Okay. Marshawn is not here. Next, we will have our Teacher of the Month. This month award goes to a teacher from Marlin High School, and her name is Miss Tasha Butler. Ms. Butler creates structured opportunities for students to engage in academic discourse, debates, presentations, and analytical writing through the online learning platforms. Ms. Butler is recognized as an outstanding educator whose dedication, innovation, and commitment to student success continues to make a lasting impact at Marlin ISD. A proud alumni of Marlin ISD, class of 2002, Ms. Butler brings a deep sense of pride and purpose to work, investing wholeheartedly in the growth and achievement of the students she serves. Beyond the classroom, Ms. Butler is one of Marlin's coaches and consistently displays our MB pride. She's a parent to a set of twin students who are a class of 2026 seniors, and her professional journey reflects a deep commitment to service and community. We want to acknowledge you, Ms. Butler. Come on up. Come on, Coach.
Count us off, we'll look directly.
And we are looking at.
Here we go. 3, 2. One more. 3, 2. You got it.
Great as newspaper.
Okay, 1, 2.
our performer and players of the month. First up, our varsity soccer player for Marlin High School is Eric Ramos Diaz. Eric Diaz led the team in assists and stepped up with strong overall play during the second half of the district. His vision on the field helped create scoring opportunities and made a big impact for the team. Eric, we welcome you. Come on up.
Three, two, one more, three, two.
Stay right there, we're gonna get Coach on the end. Okay, Coach in the center, okay.
Right here. All right, here we go. Three, two. One more, three, two. Looks good.
I think you said 3-2, what about 4-5-6?
Take it.
Okay.
Great job, congratulations.
Next, this award goes to Marlin's own Sounds of Thunder drumline member Aiden Diaz. This student has shown remarkable growth, consistently arriving early for rehearsals and helping peers with challenging pieces. Aiden's dedication is evident in his improved practice, which has enhanced the ensemble's overall sound, excuse me. Additionally, he took on a leadership role during the recent solo and rehearsal, inspiring fellow band members. His talent, hard work, and leadership make him deserving of this candidate for Performer of the Month. So come on now.
All right, here we go. Three, two. One more, three, two. Got it.
Okay, thank you so, oh, sorry.
And then also,
I was getting ready to go.
y'all forgot to get mom with the other one, so mom and sister and them are back there.
Oh, yes. Squeeze on in, Miss Dennis, squeeze on in.
Who's counting?
1, 2, 3, and again. Right beside you. Nowhere. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Got it. Right there. You got one more picture. Say cheese. Look.
Right here, three. Right here. Three, two, one, three, two, one. Got it.
One more.
This one right here. Good.
6. Okay, get back, but
Say cheese. Look, one more time.
happy
Look,
birthday.
There we go. All righty. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We have 2 more awards, but I don't see the performers here, and they are Braylee Blewett for the girls' basketball team and Jaden Brooks for the varsity boys' basketball team. Okay? Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is closed session, and we will be going into closed session at 5:10. And Section 551.074 for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer and are employed. And so it's 5:10. Thank you.
Bless you.
We're now back in open session and it's 6:12, and we do have a quorum. Are there any motions to be made?
I move that the board approve the professional, yes, and administrative contracts for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Saylor, second by Ms. Emerson, to approve the contracts as presented to us. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Anyone abstain? So motion carries 7-0. Next, we will move to the superintendent's report. Mr. Bates, is there a superintendent's report?
Yes, Madam President. Tonight I'll be brief as best as I can. I was able to, the last few weeks, pick back up with meeting some of the very key and interesting people as far as stakeholders within our community. I was able to meet with Mr. Jimmy Lynn with State Farm. I think he's our local State Farm agent in the area. It's a very nice individual and a proud graduate of Marlin ISD. So he gave me a lot of the key details and key things that I did not know. One of the biggest ones, and Ms. Thomason has been teasing me about it, is, make sure I don't change the logo too much because that MB is a lot of history behind it. And so he had a lot of memorabilia that had the MB on it. So I'll make sure that my team and I are very informed and making sure that we're keeping those historical things very valuable for the district. I also got a chance to meet with Mr. Glenn LaFavor, who is our store manager at the local Walmart. And he's also talked with me about a few things that he would like to make sure that they get a chance to donate and invest within the school district. So I really do appreciate him taking the time to meet with me and my team, and would look much forward to the things that he wants. I don't want to let the cat out the bag too much, but the things that he's looking and hoping help us do with some of our student programs and interests. I do want to take a moment to make sure that we are respectful and pass along our condolences and thoughts and prayers because two of our staff members, Mrs. Deloach and Mrs. Jones, they lost their mom today. And because they are family members of the district, I do want to make sure that we keep them in our thoughts and prayers. They're very key figures of our school district. And they are truly at a time where I believe that we want to make sure that we keep them in a way to where they can be strong and be pillars within their family members. So that's what we do here in Marlin ISD. We want to make sure that, when they give it their all here, we allow them to support them in that. But at the exact same time, when we need for them to go home and take care of their family members, that we step up and step in for them. So we definitely want to make sure we keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And then the last one is because I was informed this over the weekend of the proclamation that was signed by our president of it being Women's History Month. And so I want to make sure that I do things in decent and order and give a shout out to the women of Marlin ISD, because in case many people don't realize, many of the leaders in this district, you all are women. I am the superintendent, but many of our women, if you look across this dais, Mr. Johnson and I are outnumbered. And so I want to make sure that we give a lot of respect and credence and presence to where it's due. So shout out to our ladies and the women of the board of the trustees. All of our principals here in Marlin ISD are women, and many of the people that serve and work along with me, Ms. Gwynn, Mrs. Swatek, Dr. Nevels, Ms. Strickland. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. But if I have, try just in my mind, not my heart. But I really do want to make sure that in Marlin ISD, we also make sure we support and shout out our women in leadership, because I do work alongside a great team, and I take much pride in being able to say I work for a lot of great women here on this diocese as well. So that's it for my my superintendent report, Madam President, but I want to
Alright.
make sure I did that in decent and in order. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, now we'll have presentations on the information items. Like,
Okay, Madam President. First up, we will have the Bond 2022 update. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Troy Bethley.
Good evening, Madam President Terry, members of the board, and Superintendent Mr. Bates. I'm here to provide a brief update on the continued progress of our construction project. Currently, site work is underway for the parking areas and stormwater drainage around the facility. The contractor has proposed replacing the planned concrete swale in the parking lot driveway with a channel drain. This adjustment will prevent a potential dip that could impact low-clearance vehicles while still effectively managing storm water runoff. In terms of building progress, the block walls have been completed. Additional electrical work has been completed to connect the existing weight room, storage, and office areas with the new gymnasium. Overall, the project continues to move forward as planned, and we continue to keep the board updated as construction progresses. We've enclosed pictures of the channel drain and the interior block walls connecting the existing building of the new gym. At this time, I would like to pause for questions and discussions.
This is probably gonna sound really crazy, but to make sure I am just understanding, that little structure out there, that's gonna be a whole new gym with bleachers
Yes.
and everything?
And a stadium floor.
It does look very small. I wasn't sure if it's just my eyesight.
that's what I
Because
wanted to know.
the biggest thing is it's connecting to the existing structure,
Uh-huh.
and so most of that's the stadium floor.
Okay, so some of
Yes.
that, well, that's part of the old gym is gonna be part of this gym, or is it just that structure?
It's gonna be connected.
Okay.
They're gonna tie in the existing portion to the new stadium floor.
Uh-huh.
And so once it's completed, it'll be one big structure.
So okay.
Great question.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
Any other questions?
The ceiling gonna be high on there?
Is it gonna be high enough?
Ceiling doesn't look like it's.
It's gonna be a tall ceiling, yes. It's gonna be very tall for basketballs and things of that nature.
Don't look like it to me.
Okay. Are you welcome?
Before we move forward, if it pleases the board, one of the things I can do, we can go, I believe there was renderings that have probably been shared with the board prior to me coming, but we can bring those back at a later board meeting. That way we can kind of look at it and see if we have any other questions or see if it matches some of the things that was presented to the trustees prior to.
I just have trouble visually seeing some things. My husband doesn't like it when I move furniture, so if that tells you anything.
Okay, Mr. Bates, any more?
Yes. Next, we're going to have the Emerging Bilingual Local Improvement Plan, or better known as the LIP, L-I-P plan. So to give us this information, we're going to turn it over to Mrs. Swatek. Mrs. Swatek?
Good evening, Board President Terry, members of the board, and Superintendent Bates. I want to start by reminding you all, in August, the district learned that it would need a local improvement plan to support emergent bilingual students at Marlin Elementary. This past month, we were made aware of the plan, that it had not previously been shared with the board. And so we are bringing it to you guys now. We have had it in place since August, but we are bringing it to you now just so you can understand a little bit. So we're starting here with our local improvement plan, some background information for you. A local improvement plan is required by the state when a student group shows low performance on reading or math for 3 years in a row. These results impact the district in Domain 3, closing the gaps for federal accountability purposes. The LIP does not impact state accountability or campus letter grades, but it does impact our campus results because we know those students are low performing, therefore our results for that campus are low performing. The plans are not required to be submitted to the Texas Education Agency unless they are requested. In the fall, our district LPAC and academics teams conducted a needs analysis in which we showed that we needed additional support in classroom instruction, increased teacher capacity and language acquisition strategies, targeted interventions, improved data monitoring, and increasing the number of ESL certified teachers. As we created our plan, our goal is to increase the proficiency and language acquisition, as well as the academic performance of our emergent bilingual students. We have 4 areas that we are focusing on to meet that goal. Our first is our professional development. Last week, during our professional development day on Friday, we brought in the emergent bilingual specialist from Region 12. She presented strategies on vocabulary development, as well as helping our teachers to build background capacity and connections with those students, and then how to effectively implement simple items like word walls that will allow students to make connections between English and Spanish. We are working, as you know, we've been working on several things with our hiring practices. So we are doing some strategic staffing and certification. We're looking to recruit ESL certified teachers and supporting staff. We have several staff members that have the ability that are certified and can go and get their ESL certification added to it. So we're working to support them in finding additional study plans and places that they can complete those tests. Our third area of improvement is through an online platform called Summit K-12. As you know, Marlin uses a pull-out program for our emergent bilingual students. It means that we have an aide or a teacher that comes in and pulls the students from their extracurricular classes for a period of time. We use in this program, an area to look at, y'all, I'm struggling. I apologize. I hit the button. With our pullout, what we are working with is for our students to receive both instruction from the teacher, focusing on that vocabulary language acquisition, but then also supporting with Summit K-12. And what it does is it does a diagnostic, and then it provides additional individualized assessments that students can use to support. And then, of course, our last piece that we're focusing on is our data analysis and performance monitoring. We have been conducting quarterly LPAC meetings in which we look at student performance in regards to cognition versus linguistic, and we're looking at ways that we can continue to improve students through that monitoring. We have several goals that we have established. One focuses on language proficiency, and we are looking at increasing, by looking at TELPAS testing, we're looking at increasing our number of students who are receiving overall TELPAS ratings of advanced high. We're wanting to grow that by about 15%. And then looking at individual areas such as reading and math, creating roughly, hopefully, a 10% growth using these items that we've discussed. We also are looking at our early literacy goal. We have several teachers that we have lined up to complete the Reading Academy this coming year in an effort to help improve not only all of our students, but especially the impact of reading with our emergent bilingual students and how they learn that material. Expected outcomes that we hope to see, obviously, some accelerated language acquisition across all the domains on the Texas English proficiency test, the TELPAS test, as well as increased student academic performance. Through the training this last week, we're seeking to find some increased Tier 1 instruction, being able to work and align with student needs of our emergent bilingual students, and then, of course, to improve our accountability and data monitoring so we know where and how to assist those students. At this time, if you have any additional questions or discussions.
Before we move to the question and discussion, I do want to make sure I show my appreciation to Trustee Ehlers because she did a great job of making sure that throughout the transition that this wasn't lost, as many of this communication came out during and prior to the transition of myself in the previous regime. So I appreciate it in one of our one-on-one meetings. Ms. Ehlers brought this to my attention, and we wanted to make sure that we had the plan in place and that we're implementing the plan in place, because without it, it may have been something that we wouldn't have had on our radar until later on down the road. So I definitely wanted to say thank you so much, Ms. Sailors, for doing that.
I was wondering, how are you monitoring the increase in the reading proficiency and the writing proficiencies to increase by 10%? I noticed that you were talking about the reading, with the district benchmark test, we were going to go 15%. But how are you monitoring their writing improvement to make sure we see that 10% increase?
So with our writing, we use various different things. A lot of that is teacher-led, and we use CurryPod. And what CurryPod allows us to do is teachers assign out a piece, and then students respond. And they're able to actually give feedback to each other immediately. And then the program also does an AI level similar to what the STAR test would do, and things of that nature. So they're getting feedback in that regard as well. And so it takes into account some of those language issues, and is able to speak to them about, hey, this might be a grammatical error that as an English speaker it would be, but it gives the teacher the ability, similar to an exit ticket would, they can go back and review the student results and the comments, and then make any changes that they might have as needed afterwards. Anyone else?
That concludes all information items tonight, Madam President.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll take action on the consent agenda. May I have a motion from the Board of Trustees to approve the consent agenda?
I would like to make a motion to pull items 9B through 9H and vote on them individually. With all the dedicated work the board has done over the past few months, I just think it's important for the public to also hear each item and see where the board stands collectively or individually on each item.
Okay, if you make a motion, Ms. Demerson, do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Ayers, we have a motion and a second to pull those items just, that Ms. Demerson just listed. And, may I have a motion to approve, excuse me, can remember all those numbers that she just rattled off.
9A.
Huh?
9A.
Just
9A.
9A, excuse me. Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second? All in,
Need a motion for 9A.
oh,
I
just
make a
9A.
motion, consideration and possible approval of the board meeting minutes, February 16th, March 2nd, March 7th, 2026.
Okay. Have a motion by Ms. Tomlinson to approve the minutes.
I second.
Okay. Now, any discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? Or any discussion? Okay, if not, it's approved 7-0. Okay. And then next, we had,
I move that the board approve the revisions of AE local as presented.
We gonna amend that?
do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion from Ms. Tomlinson, second by Ms. Demerson, right?
Yes.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President, I have a question on goal 3.3. We have stated that we wanted to do no less than 90%, but our annual target for 27-28 is at 85%.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Sailors, if you'd like, I can answer that for you. That was a simple typo. It goes from 100 this year and next, because those are already accumulated, they're done post, and then it'll go to 90 after that.
So it's 85 is,
The 85 should be a 90, correct, yes, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am.
Okay, we were going to go through all the pulled consent item agenda, that are on the agenda? Pardon? Okay. Excuse me, we need to call for this vote first. And that, let's see, was that Ms. Ayers?
Yes.
Okay. And was that you, Ms. Demerson? Excuse me, I kind of lost track.
Yes.
Who seconded that?
I
Ms.
did.
Ayers and, okay?
No, we didn't make a motion.
Okay.
She made,
She made a suggestion
Yes.
to amend.
to amend that.
Yeah, we are,
Do I need to, we need to vote on that, Roseanne?
I make the motion that we
Amend.
approve letter B, revisions to policy AE local with the amendment of 85 being bumped up to the 90, correcting the typo.
And I second that motion.
Okay, and now we vote on that motion, correct?
Correct.
Correct, okay. Excuse me, ladies. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Any discussion? Okay, motion carries. And next,
9D.
9D. We did, excuse me.
Madam President, I make a motion that we consider and possibly approve the student outcome goals.
Okay.
I
Here.
second.
Ms. Ayers moves, Ms. Demerson second. Any discussion on that? Any questions, anything on that? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Okay, next we'll go to item 9D.
I move that the board approve the Marlin ISD student progress measures as presented.
Okay, Ms. Outline, second by Ms. Tomlinson, excuse me. Y'all threw your voices down there. All right, any discussion? Any questions, anything on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Next, we'll go to number 9E.
Item 9E, I move that the board approve the superintendent guardrails as presented.
Okay, Ms. Trotter moves to approve the superintendent's guardrails. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Outline seconds, Ms. Judge Trotter moves, Ms. Outline second. Any questions, any discussion?
No.
Anything on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed, any abstain? Motion carries. Okay, next on item F is, do I hear a motion for item 9F?
I move that the board approve the superintendent guardrail progress measures as presented.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Tomlinson, do I hear a second?
Trotter.
Ms. Trotter, thank you, thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any questions? Anything? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Did any abstain? I meant to ask it all. Any, motion carries 7-0 on number 9, F. Now we'll go to 9G.
I move that the board approve the board guardrails as presented.
I
Okay,
second.
thank you, Coach Johnson and Ms. Outland for second. Any questions? Any discussion on that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, motion carries for section 9. That was G, right, Coach? Now, 9H.
I move that the board approve the monitoring calendar as presented.
Okay, Ms. Demerson moves to approve the monitoring calendar. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Outland? Any questions, any discussion on 9H?
Yes, I have one, let me go back.
Okay,
And I
Ms.
have a
A.
feeling it's possibly also another typo. On October, February, and June's workshop, we are missing the GPM 1.3 for kindergarten. And we have 2 GPMs for second grade.
Correct. That was a typo and it will be corrected. I believe it was corrected, it just didn't make it into the paperwork, but we have it fixed.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I make a new motion that we approve the monitoring calendar with the typos corrected.
Okay,
Second.
second by Ms. Emerson, motion by Ms. Ehlers. Any questions, any discussion on that? If not, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Okay, and do we have any other consent items that we need to move on? Okay, next we'll go to the action items. So, Mr. Bates?
Thank you, Madam President. So, I think I lost my sheet. Hold on 1 second. The first item that we're gonna have is the consideration and possible approval of the LIFT grant purchase of materials and selection of approved providers. And so, still at the podium, but up next is the great Mrs. Kimberly Swatek.
Good evening again, Board President Terry, members of the board, and Superintendent Bates. As we had discussed earlier this month, we were awarded the Leadership and Instructional Foundations for Texas grant. This grant will allow us the opportunity to receive about $533,000 next year to support the implementation of Bluebonnet Learning Resources, as well as coaching support for our teachers, campus leaders, and district instructional leaders. There are 3 things that we are in the process of working on. 1 that we will ask you all to approve tonight. 2 that will come back later in the year. The first is the completion of our annual certification of instructional materials. We also will discuss this evening with you guys the purchase of Bluebonnet learning materials as done through the LIFT grant, and then determining who our LIFT grant provider will be. So local school systems are required to certify annually to the State Board of Education and the Commissioner that students have access to instructional materials covering all of the Texas essential knowledge and skills for all subjects except for physical education. We are in the process of finishing this. We have completed the pre-work forms based on what we currently have adopted in the system. We are looking to maintain most of those, and we will be certifying that we are covering all of the TEKS in our curriculum as we have you guys sign that form this evening. As we stated, part of the LIFT grant is to help us effectively implement Bluebonnet resources. We currently do Bluebonnet for K through 5 math, as well as our secondary math. We will be adding K through 5 reading. We do have the system to order opens back up in May, but we wanted you to know early that we will be looking at making these purchases. We do currently have a remaining balance of about $190,000 to purchase all of those resources, as well as any supplementals for other grades that we need to take care of. So you will see us back in May bringing official dollar amounts. The last thing we wanted to share with you all is we recently finished our search for our approved provider. After going through our procurement process, we decided to go with Schulman, Lopez, Hoffner, and Edelstein as our provider. In our process, what you'll know is that for contracts and purchases of more than $50,000, we are required to complete a request for proposals and conduct a procurement evaluation. In the case of Lyft, the price is already preset. We discussed that at the earlier meeting in March. We're required to spend 70% of our funds. That is statewide. So there's not a need for us to evaluate based on cost. Our evaluations became based on their ability to work with us and supply needs and provide the best quality for the district. We evaluated 6 different companies and determined that SHLA would be the best value for the district based on their team members. They use a system of current and former superintendents, principals, instructional coaches, and teachers. We will have 2, one that will work directly with district level and principal level, and then one that will work with our teachers as well. So we're very excited. We got the opportunity to meet them and begin discussing some of those needs. They've also had successful completion of 35 LASSO grants over the last 2 years. With 100% deliverable rate, which means that the requirements that we have to turn in from the state, they have successfully been able to employ over the last 2 years. So we won't have to be concerned about, okay, is this getting turned in on time? Because our next 2 years' funding depends on our deliverable rate for this year. So it's good that we have a company that we know will be able to do that. We will have, as I mentioned, dedicated district and campus coaches. They will provide both on-site instructional coaching beyond the grant requirements for district and campus leadership meetings. This was a big piece because, as we know, we have a lot of new teachers, and this will provide us with a lot of extra instructional support. And it was a piece that guided our committee in our discussion. They also provided regular fidelity of implementation monitoring and data support, both for the grant requirements, but also for school improvement. They had a system in place that they shared on how they'll be able to help us with our data collection and monitoring to make that more efficient. So if there are any questions or discussions, I will gladly take them. But we will need a motion to approve the certification of the instructional materials.
I have a question. How
Go
often
for it.
are they required to be on site?
So they will be working with our campuses twice a month. They will work with myself and district levels once a month. And that is predicted, that is required through the grant. Now, if we want to, we can look at it, if we need to, we can extend that, but at a minimum, it'll be once with district level, twice with campus level.
Okay, thank
Any
you.
other questions?
All right,
right.
based on the lift grant, do I have from the Board of Trustees to approve this, the lift grant and the provider?
I move that the board approves the lift grant approved provider agreement and EMAT certification as presented.
I second.
Okay, motion by Ms. Outland, second by Ms. Demerson. Any discussion? Okay, if not, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Okay,
All right, next we'll have the item 10B, which is the Rural Pathway Excellence Partnership, the RPEP renewal. Once again, still Mrs. Swate. Ms. Swate?
I'm trying to relieve y'all having to listen to my scratchy voice, I'm sorry. But Board President, again, I'm welcome to present to you all as well as the board and Superintendent Bates. We brought this earlier. This is a requirement to keep our Rural Pathway Excellence Partnership in place. We did come to you earlier this month with some more information. As a reminder, while the district does receive Perkins funding for our CTE programs, we are a rural district, and so we receive less than $16,000 in official Perkins funds. For that reason, the district did go and initiate a Rural Pathways Initiative a few years ago to allow us to partner with another district, Rosebud Lot, and Region 12 to provide additional CTE programs that we may not be able to fund on our own at the campus and district level. So by re-signing the MOU with the Falls County Rural Collaborative, it will allow us to continue to receive funding through the RPEP program, which is in addition to our federal Perkins money. It will also allow us to receive additional outcome bonuses, and it allows us the ability to dedicate a percentage of those RPEP funds to courses to ensure that they have what they need. So we're coming to you this evening. This signed MOU does have to be submitted by the end of the month by ourselves, Region 12, and Rosebud Lot. And so we are requesting that you all approve for the superintendent to sign that performance agreement.
All right. May I have a motion from the Board of Trustees to approve this Rural Pathway Excellent Partnership?
I make a motion that we can consider the approval of the partnership as presented.
Okay, and Ms. Demerson seconds, Ms. Ayler's move. Any discussion, any questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any oppose? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Great.
All right, trustees, next we're gonna have item 10C. And this one is an amendment to the approved 2026-27 district calendar, which was approved earlier in February. But we've gotten some great intel and information about ways that can really benefit the district if we just only add one more instructional day. So for this presentation, I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Tanya Gwynn.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, Madam President, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Bates. So last month, the Board of Trustees approved the 26-27 academic calendar, and the administration is now seeking an amendment to add one more additional day. An additional day will increase the number of instructional days from 174 to 175. And by increasing the number of instructional days, the district now meets the minimum base calendar requirements to qualify for additional days school year, also known as ADSE, formula funding. And so here is what's listed for the 175 days. The red box shows you the half-day formula funding for increasing to 175. This school year, not last school year, this school year, we're at 164, so we're increasing now by 11 days. And so the benefits of the ADSE program, there are a lot of different possible programming options, and I wanted our Chief Academic Officer, Ms. Swatek, to be able to share some of those ways to help improve students in academics.
Thank you, Ms. Gwynn, I appreciate it. Board and President and members of the board and superintendent. Trustee Ehlers had previously come to us and asked us about extended school year, which was part of the reason that when this became available to us, we looked into it a little bit deeper. And by adding that one day, what it's going to allow us to do is receive additional funding, and that additional funding will allow us to do additional school days. There are various methods that can be done in. It can be done via summer school, which is what a lot of people know. It can also be done during the school year on Saturdays. Anything that's kind of outside of that school compulsory time that we have to be here. One of the things we wanted to share for you on why this is significant is there's significant research that has shown us the importance of this. So several years ago, the RAND Corporation did a research study on fifth graders. And what they found was the cumulative effects of summer learning loss results in an academic gap of up to 3 years. And unfortunately, that is disproportionately higher for low-income districts. And so the state did a study last year over 23-24 data, and what they found was students who were going through an ADSE program, an additional summer or additional school days, had a 3-point higher than state performance at the approaches level and above in math, and 4 points higher at approaches and above in reading. So we know that there will be gains. we can see that there should be gains in this. This would be for, because we don't meet it this year based on the 164 we currently have, this would be for next school year. So it would roll into either summer school next year in 26, 27, or into Saturdays or things of that nature, however we decide to function it from there. It is available also for pre-K through 8. They've extended it beyond the 5th grade. So we have the availability to do it with our middle school students as well. And just so that you know, we know that attendance is always something to be thinking about. ADSE attendance will not affect our overall ADA. So even if we were to do this during the summer and we were to turn in lower attendance, it would not impact our ADA from the school year. So it doesn't necessarily have a negative impact in that regard. Are there any additional questions that you all have?
How does this, because do we still have the EBs coming in the summer, our pre-K, kinder EBs? How does
Yes.
this affect them?
So they're required, I believe, by law that we do those. I believe that is outside of ADSE. So this would be in addition to those kiddos. This would give us an opportunity for our 3rd graders going into 4th grade, 5th graders going to 6th, things of that nature. It can also be used with them on those, if we were to model it during a different day, like on a Saturday or something, we would have the opportunity to do it throughout the school year as well, depending on the model we chose. Any other academic-based questions? Then I'm gonna let Ms. Gwen finish up with the scheduling.
Thank you. So again, we're seeking amendment for to adding one additional day. What you'll see now is the actual calendar that was approved by the board for 26, 27. And with the one additional day, school will now end on Thursday, May 27th, so that's the day after what was previously approved. And we still end before Memorial Day. I'll pause for any questions.
So there was just one actual, because it was one day that we needed for the ADSE, right? Correct. So, but it said it can go up to 200. So, we only chose one day. Was there a reason why we didn't choose any more days besides just that one day?
Yes, Trustee Demerson. So we could go up to 200 days, but that would now mean that we're going to have all of our students be required to come to school and extend our day through 200. Now, I will tell you, I'll use a little bit of logic. If you look at our attendance right now, we haven't gotten to 100% right now.
Correct.
And so what we're hopefully being able to do is just extend one more day. We're saying one more day to the approved calendar, but we're already actually extended it 11 days of half-day. Exact, yes, because it's 10 days from this actual current year, school year. So we want to kind of walk slowly before we go from the extreme of going from 165 days to 200. Because that's really what we would be asking tonight.
Gotcha.
But there will still be, I'm so glad that you kind of alluded to that, because it gives me an opportunity to make sure I'm very clear. During the summer, it's very often, it's often where people will ask either their students to their parents or our students to the coaches, is there anything that we can do throughout the summer to give our students a athletic advantage? You know, can we have various camps? You know, can we make sure we have these various things for when the volleyball season, which is typically first, our students are able to compete in non-district versus district. Football comes right behind that, so our students can compete non-district versus district. Well, I want everyone to have the exact same mindset. This allows our students to have some training during the summer to be able to compete in the world as well as academic if they choose to do so within our community and outside the community by getting this additional, I'm calling it professional development, but training and instruction throughout the summer. So for those that may be at home watching, but also for our staff and even those that are here in the audience, we're committed to ensuring that our students have every opportunity to improve themselves academically. So I know when you hear the word summer programs or summer schools, the first thing that people hear is, okay, well, that means I may have to miss out on, you know, whatever summer vacation or other summer programs that may compete with that. That's not our goal. We're not necessarily trying to compete, but we are still we're responsible for making sure that our students have resources that improves themselves, primarily, especially in the areas of reading and math. And we think this gives us a great advantage of being able to do so.
Okay.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Brennan. And so now, concerning the amendment of the approved district calendar, May I have a motion from the Board of Trustees to approve this?
I move that the board approve the amendment to the 26-27 district calendar as presented.
Okay, Ms. Tomlinson, do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Demerson, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions? If not, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Okay, thank you.
All right, next, we're gonna have item 10D, the purchase of public address system, for the Marlin Elementary campuses. And for that presentation, I'd like to turn over to Mr. Lejeune. Mr. Lejeune?
Thank you, Superintendent Bates. Good evening, Board President Ms. Terry, members of the board. As I mentioned to you in our workshop meeting, we are in need of some refurbishment at our currently last unrefurbished buildings down there at 602 Donahue and 678 Success Drive. We currently have all analog amps with, I like to call them space shuttle bell timers back from whenever the space shuttle was developed in the 70s, with patched on phone integration and some speakers that are giving us some problems. And we are trying to move, keeping the value proposition for the district in mind, to a hybrid of web-based and still some analog amplifiers, but everything being refurbished to like new or mostly like new condition with our speakers and PA system, with the ability still to integrate into our new phone system. We did receive a quote from TFE, which is our approved preferred vendor for data AV and security cameras. This is an AV project technically. I'm sure that the board is very familiar with TFE and their work, as we're standing in one of their rooms that they helped us out with now. The quote actually came in at a very respectful $25,328, and that's going to require all of our cable runs, additional hardware for the network, and any licenses that may be required. The purchase will be made using the remainder of our security allotment, as well as network supply funds that are in the general fund through the TIPS USA cooperative contract. So we did not have to go out for a competitive bid, but as I said, this is represents a very good value to the district, this price.
Okay.
And I'll be taking any questions or discussion if you have them.
And this will be done after school is out this world.
Our intention is to limit the impact to the students. However, we feel that it's in the best interest for safety and security of the district to get it taken care of as quickly as possible. We are still working through scheduling, but we do intend to have it completed before the summer starts. Thank you for that question.
Anything else? Thank you, Adam. Okay, concerning the approval of the public address system, board, could I ask for a motion?
I move that the board approve the purchase from the approved vendor TFE as presented.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Outland moves, Ms. Tomlinson seconds. Any discussion? Any questions on this? If not, I call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries for the public address system. Thank you, Adam.
All right, Madam President, next we have item 10E, and that is the approval of engaging Singleton, Clark and Company, PC annual audit for the fiscal year of 2025, 2026. For that presentation, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Norman Jones. Mr. Jones?
Good evening, Board President Terry, members of the board, and Mr. Bates. Each year, school districts are required to undergo a single audit conducted by an independent accounting firm to review the district's financial records and internal financial controls. So this process ensures that there's compliance with state and federal requirements. And upon completion of this audit, then you guys will have, the board will have the opportunity to review and consider accepting it and any findings that may be presented. And so if you will recall, we had this company that we've used for about 2 years now. They come in, they look at every piece of financial records that we have, like receipts and invoices, and just to make sure that there's no fraud, to make sure that there's nothing that looks irregular. And this does happen once a year. The firm, Singleton Clark and Company, is a trusted firm that works with over 40 school districts in our state. They were highly recommended from Region 12. There was some other firms that was used before, but they had some issues with them, so they were like, this is the firm that is reliable and that's trusted. Some of the basic procedures includes your base work. So they look at expenditures and risk assessment, internal controls, everything dealing with finances. And again, just to make sure that there's no fraud and everything kind of lines out. So what is their responsibility? So they're responsible for conducting an audit in accordance with the generally accepted auditing standards. And the district's responsibility, which is us, is to ensure that all financial records and related information is available. So they can ask for anything related to Title I, SPED, you name it. So Ms. Sonia does a good job of our accounts payable. So every receipt, she has that. Region 12 also helps us with this process. And so they go through a very 4-month process, just verifying if we said we spent $20 on X, Y, Z, that we really spent $20 on it. So they have a base fee structure. So the general audit itself is $34,000. Again, the basic procedures, which does include just the base work, is $3,000. And then per major program is $3,000. And so the major program that they're focusing on is, I believe, Title I for this next go around. And so the total for that is $40,000. Last year it was $35,000, but like most things, there's been an increase in price, right? And so I'm asking that the board would approve Singleton Clark and Company certified CPAs for our financial audit for the 25-26 school year. And just for clarity, they're going to look at the records from this school year, but we won't have the results until next school year. It is like a 4 or 5 month process. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
So considering engaging Singleton, Clark and Company, do I hear a motion from the Board of Trustees? Do you have a question? Okay.
Question?
Do you have a question?
I have a question.
All right, excuse me.
The per major program, you said it's a Title I, unless they do a Title I?
No, so they can determine which major program, like each year it kind of shifts. So the program that they focus on, so Title I is one, like special education. So they have any major program, they can kind of decide which one they're going to audit for that particular year. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions? Not, I'll call for, did I already ask for a motion? Excuse me, I was going for the vote. Okay. I need a motion to employ them. Do I hear that?
I make a motion that we approve engaging Singleton, Clark and Company for our financial audit for 25-26.
Thank you, Ms. Ayers. Do I hear a second from Ms. Demerson? Okay, is there any further discussion? Any questions? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0.
All right. Next, Madam President and trustees, we have a presentation, and we're asking for approval for the financial report for February of 2026. So once again, it's Mr. Jones.
Good evening again. So this presentation will review the financials for this past month of February 2026. So we will start with the general fund. So here we have the local, state, there we go. The local, state, and federal amounts received, okay? So in total, we have received $10,140,133, which is about 80% of our projected revenue. So at the bottom, we have our expenditures for our general fund. And year to date, we have spent about 64% of our budget. And so I can't list out every single part, but that is available in your booklet. But for the general fund, we did spend $192,000 for instruction on our facilities, about $102,000, and for co-curricular, about $62,000, right under $63,000. For food services, so this budget is way smaller than our general. budget, and this is $779,000. Our total revenue that we brought in is $383,803. In total, we have spent $458,192 for the year. Interest and sinking, so this is a big one. Total revenue that we received in interest and sinking was $1,931,628. And you notice up there in green, our bond payment, which was $1,371,150. And so we have a net difference when you look at our total budget versus what we expected to receive versus what we received. We have a positive of $370,000. So we have made every bond payment on time, nothing late, no late fees or any interest with that. So this 511 account, just for your knowledge, is for our bond payment. So all of our bond payments comes out of this interest and sinking account. So we're up to date with that. We received more taxes than what we thought. So we thought we were going to receive $2,028,050. We received just under 2.4 million. So people have paid their taxes. That's good. Moving on to, they paid them. They paid them. Our construction budget. So our budget for this school year was $9,433,342. Total that we received in February was $23,983. We spent out a total of $430,831 out of this construction account. And to date, we have spent $5,841,564 going towards our construction project. So that includes Legion Field, where we're sitting right now, and includes parts of the gym as well. So this money that we have received, we are putting it to use. We use the football stadium, we are able to use the high school now, and we have the new gym that's coming October of 2026. So this is an exciting time to be a Marlin Bulldog.
It's a great day to be.
It's a great day. It's a great day. So as I kind of wrap this part up, our total interest earned for the month was $50,607.12. And on the right side, this kind of breaks down the different areas that we received those in. And lastly, you have a copy of the check registry. The entire registry is in your booklet for your review. This is just a small snippet.
Okay,
Any questions, discussions?
thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Okay.
Jones, I have,
Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
sorry, I
ahead.
have 3 questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so at this point in the school year, why have we not gotten any state money for our food services yet?
So some of these funds, they may not come when they're supposed to, right? So there's sometimes a lag. As I was looking through our federal funds for food service, there's 2 months that we're still waiting to receive. Because if you'll notice, and that's a great catch. So we've only received under half of our federal funds for child nutrition. So there was a shutdown at one point, so that did kind of make a pause on some of that. But I will have you notice or know that nobody went without eating.
Exactly.
Everybody ate. Everyone was able to get their milk and their strawberries and their ham sandwich for lunch. So we're still awaiting those funds. We will receive them. It's just a matter of when.
Okay.
But it's not impacting our child nutrition program at the moment.
Okay. I just, because I thought last year we had state funds by now, and I just was like, we're kind of behind here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then 61, expenditure 61, community services, we're at 447.82%
Can I have
spent.
a, sorry. Yes. So let me get back to you on this
Okay.
one.
And then the next one right below it, I had a question mark beside it. What's the name, what's that mean? Something,
The capital outlay.
yes, what's that?
So that's typically for any buildings that we have had to kind of work on, so.
Oh, okay.
But if you give me till tomorrow, I can
No
make sure I
problem.
get that clarified
Yes,
for you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
No
All
problem.
right, I'm good.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more
But I'll
questions?
make sure to follow up with you on those questions.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions or discussion on this? May I have a motion to approve the financial report?
I move the board approve the financial report as presented.
Okay, Ms. Emerson, Ms. second by Ms. Outline. Anyone, any more questions? Right. If not, I call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Thank you. Motion carries 7-0 on the financial report. Thank you.
And our final presentation for tonight, trustees, is item 10G, the possible approval of the March 2026 budget amendment. So for this final presentation, I turn it over to Mr. Norman Jones.
Thank you. Good evening, board, again for the last presentation. A school budget is a plan, but throughout the year, adjustments are sometimes necessary to ensure that our resources align with our actual needs. And so looking at that, there was a need to make some adjustments. So we did receive $670,000 from the solar farm, which was money that was not budgeted for. But again, that's a positive. And so we increased certain budgets so that we would not go into our fund balance. So we're going to use the money from the solar farm. We also received additional revenue that will go in functions 41, 53, and 61. And 61 is actually our daycare. So that has typically been funded by a grant, but this year the district is covering that cost. And so as a result, we need to move some money to cover salaries and some other things like that. So that's why we're asking for this budget amendment tonight. Any questions?
I have one thing I want to add. If you can go back to the last slide. Forgive me for smiling, but I was informed, I wanted to make sure I share with the trustees, that was a great increase that we received from the solar farm in the amount of approximately about $311,000. But I was also informed that it will not always be in that large amount. So it's one of the great things that we received this go around, but it could be this amount next time, but we should expect for it to be a lot lower in the future.
Understand? Okay. So for consideration, possible approval of the budget amendment, are there any questions? Any comments? Anything about that? Okay, if not, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any oppose? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0 for the budget amendment. All right, thank you. And item 11 is adjournment, so we're going to adjourn at 7:13. Made it. Ready? Okay, the meeting was reopened at 7:15, and I omitted the last item on the agenda. And it was to approve that budget amendment. And so do I hear, there were not any questions, and after that, I just adjourned. And so, I need to have a motion to approve that budget amendment.
I move that the board approves the budget amendment as presented.
Okay? Judge Trotter and Ms. Demerson moved and second to approve that budget amendment as presented. And is there any discussion or questions or anything before we vote? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anyone abstain? If not, the motion carries. And then, the next item on the agenda is the adjournment at 7:17. Sorry about that.